August 2024. Pokemon was hacked, but you already know that. When I first heard about this, I hoped to find any related info to a new Pokemon mystery dungeon, or potentially even a remake. But till now, there are no new information about any interesting spin-off titles. So I thought, why not look through all the interesting spin-offs again and question myself, what games are more likely to get a remake or a follow-up title? Let us dive in and find out. For the older generation of Pokemon fans, this will probably spark a chain of wholesome memories from your childhood. The Stadium series has 4 games in its arsenal: Stadium 1, Stadium 2, Battle Revolution, and Pocket Monster Stadium. The last one is something you most likely have never heard of, because it has never appeared in Europe or America. The Stadium games differ from the main Pokemon RPGs because there is no storyline or exploration. They focus entirely on 3D battling. And there is also an announcer, which makes it so much more fun to play.
A strike fighting poses. Hypnosis. Oh no, it fell asleep.
For many, it was the first time Pokemon felt more competitive and strategic. And you could also play some mini-games to relax for a second. In essence, Pokemon Stadium is all about testing your Pokemon's battle skills, experimenting with different teams and strategies, and enjoying mini-games. I personally think it's highly unlikely to get a successor, because the main features of the game are already a standard part of the mainline series. 3D Pokemon in the competitive scene are already implemented, so it doesn't make sense to release a remake or a successor. The only part they should bring back is the announcer.
And there goes the battle!
The Pokemon Snap series has 2 titles, Pokemon Snap and new, Pokemon Snap. Really creative. Instead of the typical Pokemon goal of capturing Pokemon in Pokeballs and battling, Pokemon Snap focuses entirely on observation and exploration. You journey through a series of immersive environments along a predetermined path. As you progress, you aim to photograph various Pokemon in unique poses, capturing them from different angles, and occasionally prompting specific behaviors. The game is celebrated for its relaxed pace and focus on appreciating the environment, rather than fighting for your lunch money. Its appeal lies in discovering the natural behaviors and personalities of Pokemon in a way that resembles a wildlife photography experience. The possibility of another successor is, in my opinion, rather high. The second title was released almost 3 years ago and received good reviews and sales. So for a third title, the chances are rather promising. While doing research for this video, I realized I never played Pokemon Coloseum or Gale of Darkness. So with the help of a certain dolphin, I took the opportunity and it was great! The Shadow series has 2 titles, Coloseum and XD Gale of Darkness. Unlike the main series games, the Shadow Pokemon series features a darker storyline, which focuses more on double battles, and does not involve catching wild Pokemon in the traditional way. Instead, players steal and purify Shadow Pokemon, which have been corrupted by a criminal organization. The game has 3D environments and animations, which brought Pokemon battles to life on the big screen, marking a significant leap in the series' graphical presentation. For many fans, me included, this Pokemon series represents a more bold and memorable departure from the traditional Pokemon formula, showcasing the franchise in a more mature, strategic, and story-rich light. It also featured the first trainer battle against a legendary Pokemon. Like the Stadium series, the 3D appeal and the competitive aspect are already implemented in the mainline games. You could also see the new Legends series as its unofficial successor. Being aware of all that, I would see a third title in the Shadow series as unlikely. Now we come to one of my favorites, the Ranger series. The Ranger series consists of 3 titles, with the third one being the most popular. Unlike traditional Pokemon games where players catch and train Pokemon for battles, Pokemon Ranger introduces a fresh concept. Players take on the role of rangers, with the mission to protect wild Pokemon and preserve harmony between Pokemon and humans. Instead of catching Pokemon in Pokeballs, Rangers temporarily befriend Pokemon through a special device called the Capture Styler. This series had, and still has, in my opinion, the most unique playstyle: drawing circles. Sounds a bit lame at first, but it actually plays really well. It also destroyed some touchscreens. This one had the best possibilities for a successor. Nintendo released 4 consoles, making the game possible to play on 3 of them. But even with that in mind, I think it's unlikely to make a return. It's not playable on TV, which makes it rather unattractive to players. But with the upcoming Switch 2, maybe they make it possible. The Rumble series has 5 titles. It focuses on an action-packed arcade style, known for its fast-paced gameplay and playful, toy-like Pokemon. Unlike the main series games that focuses on training and turn-based battles, Pokemon Rumble brings you into a dynamic, real-time battle arena, where you control toy Pokemon. Every toy Pokemon has unique moves, usually limited to 1 or 2, which range from close-range attacks to powerful long-range moves. You can switch between Pokemon on the fly, selecting the best one for each situation, or swapping out a weaker Pokemon for a stronger one as you progress through tougher levels. As you advance, you encounter boss Pokemon with special abilities and enhanced strength, offering challenging battles that add depth to the fast-paced gameplay. Each successful run through a level rewards you with stronger, higher-level toy Pokemon, encouraging you to continue leveling up and evolving your roster. If you're as unlucky as me, you only had the demo for the Wii, and tried beating it for thousands of times hoping you could somehow play the full game after completing the final level. But that aside, The Rumble series was put on mobile devices equipped with in-game purchases and put to rest 1 year after its official release. After this mobile incident, they made a block-style Pokemon game on the Switch as an unofficial successor. Ignoring the change in style, it was received a bit better, but still contained in-app purchases. Nintendo just can't let go of that idea. The PokePark series has 2 titles. It's an immersive, colorful 3D world filled with adventures and playful mini-games. It allows you to explore the Pokemon world as Pikachu, interacting with other Pokemon and solving light-hearted puzzles. Unlike traditional Pokemon games focused on battling, PokePark emphasizes exploration, friendship, and cooperative fun, creating a relaxed and charming adventure. It's a more laid-back Pokemon experience with a more or less creative story. With this one, I actually have no idea. It would be rather easy to make a successor, but I think no one asks for it. I would not wait for another PokePark title, but maybe Nintendo adjusts the formula for it and makes it more appealing for new players. But I would not wait for it. The last, but certainly not least series is the Mystery Dungeon series. You wake up to find yourself being transformed into a Pokemon with no memories of your past life as a human. From this point on, you will embark on an adventure full of mystery, friendship, and self-discovery, forming strong bonds with other Pokemon and uncovering the secrets of this new world. This series has many titles, with the second one being the best, and that's not only my opinion. This game series presents a view of the Pokemon world that highlights the struggles, dreams, and friendships of Pokemon in a way no other series does. And the music is top tier. They have so many good tracks I could listen to them for hours. The latest title was a remake of the first Mystery Dungeon title for the Switch. So I would say, and strongly hope, the chances for another Mystery Dungeon title are looking rather promising. They made a remake for the first title, so a remake for the second and most popular title on the Switch too would be an easy win for the company and the fans. I pray to Nintendo that they release Explorers of Sky DX. There are some titles I didn't talk about, like Pokken or Pokemon Go. But what do you think? What spin-off title should get a remake or a follow-up title? Write it in the comments, and if you're already there, leave a like and a sub. Let's hope Nintendo hears my prayers.